Before I begin this video, I have a list of acknowledgements which is absolutely mandatory. First, a shout out to Tanaya Amar. Second, to Shatrapa Chaudhary. Third, to Anu Bamra. Fourth, to Vishal. To my specific person, because he's been really cooperative during this entire lockdown period. So yeah, this video couldn't have been there if I did not have the support of these people. So this video is about Everyone Is You Pushed Out. If you have read Neville Goddard and if you have seen some of the theories surrounding this particular case, that everyone is you pushed out, it basically means that every person you meet in this lifetime is a part of your manifestation. You have subconsciously or consciously manifested these people. So I'll tell you this short story about my ex-bestie. I keep on talking about this ex-bestie because he's been a vital part in this whole spiritual journey of mine, and I really cannot bring in another example as good as this one. So yeah, so this ex-best mate of mine, he was really egocentric. A lot of times I thought so, but it was not the case. He was extremely close to my heart, but the problem is that I manifested this version of him where he was absolutely rude and he did not take my friendship so seriously. So you see what happens generally when you fall out with any of your friends. You tend to think that this friendship is not meant to be fighting. Longest time we did not speak, and I thought that this person is never going to be my friend ever again, and it hurt me so much. It really hurt me. So yeah, let's get back to that. So when I thought that this person is not going to be in my life anymore, it turns out that he actually brought in some other friend of his, and he started roaming around with this friend of his, and I thought that he got another friend, a female friend. Now I'm not jealous, okay? Only jealous of people who have some talent. Not that he's not talented, he is. He really is very talented, but it's just that I am more jealous when someone has a talent extra to the point. So what happened was that I was really upset with this whole episode of him going out with this friend of his, and I thought that, oh my god, I will not be able to get that kind of attention anymore. See, what happens is that when you think that people are not going to be in your life any longer, you find out another aspect of them, which this person has this side of him as well. So I found another side of him, which is that the attention seeking side. But the problem is that I had subconsciously manifested that version of him where he was so egocentric and rude and did not listen to people. He was ruthless. He didn't bother about anyone's sentiments. Guess what happened? For 6 months we had not been talking, and exactly after 6 months, when I sent him a text asking how he was and how he had been doing, he was absolutely normal, because I had subconsciously manifested that version of him where he was polite, he had no ego. I had a talk with my friend Tanaya about this, that he's showing subtle signs of wanting to speak to me. But the thing is that it's magical when you think about a particular person in a certain way and this person turns out the exact version of what you have thought. What happened was that I sent out this message, and he was talking to me, so I applied the same theory with everybody else I knew of, with everybody I had a problem with. I had a quarrel some time back, or some person who had a tiff with me at some point in time. So literally I had no enemies or no rivals. I was completely like Tulsi Virani. And shocked me, because it had never occurred to me that just a change in my mindset can help so much. So yes, so what I was saying was that when you say everyone is you pushed out, it's basically your manifested idea of a particular someone. So let's say that you want someone to be polite to you, so you have to think of this person to be polite from the very beginning. You cannot think that this person is sort of he's not going to, or she's not going to respond to your texts or not pay you attention. You can obviously manifest a version of them being very attentive towards you, or they can be very kind and polite, and they can also be helpful. And the same thing with one of my friends from college, when I was talking about her to someone else, and then she reached out to me one day saying that, if this manifestation works for anybody. So I had just manifested this version of her reaching out to me, but I didn't know that this is going to work in this manner, because I was obviously manifesting a text from her, because she was like from college and she'd been a producer for some time. She works with the radio. The next thing is that when you are trying to manifest the desired behavior from someone, and when you say that everyone is you pushed out, does it apply to anybody whom you think that they have nothing to do with you, or they have no business in your life? Actually, everybody in your life is a manifestation of your thoughts. So let's say that you've met the milkman. It's a manifestation of thought. You wanted to drink milk, so you have the milkman at your doorstep. You wanted a teacher to teach you maths or to teach you social science, so you'll always have a teacher at your disposal. It's as simple as that. So everyone is you pushed out is basically this theory where you think that everybody I meet is just a part of me. So I'll tell you another incident with my mom. She is really protective about me, okay, since I'm the only child in my family. So she's so protective about me. She's always like, oh my god, you cannot be going outside with this person or that. But she's always pro boyfriend. Like, I cannot go out with a male person, but I can always go out with my boyfriend. I don't know why our boyfriends the dads of our generation, but okay, whatever. So she thinks that I can go out with my boyfriend, which is the reason why she always keeps on asking if you have some special guy in your life. Whole thing of going out with a guy is safe, but I manifested this version of her where she was very secure and she was not at all scared about me any longer. So what she was doing was that she was constantly telling me that she's so she's sort of carefree about me. She doesn't have anything to worry about. Also, I told her that you don't need to worry about me, because now I'm not in school anymore, and I'm not at all a 5-year-old child who you can just, you know what I'm saying, how parents are like. So I manifested this version of her very easily. It just took me about a day or two, and then she was with this whole new avatar, you can say. One thing also, when you are applying everyone is you pushed out, you cannot fall back on the idea of something that had happened between both of you that can act as a barrier in this process. So let's say that you want your employer to behave. So instead of thinking that what your problems were in the past, like maybe you had over a project, or you had an assignment and you did not deliver as per his expectations, so you cannot think of whatever has happened in the past. You just have to concentrate on a happy memory. Remember Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban? Over this whole thing that Lupin tells Harry, that you have to concentrate on a happy memory. That's exactly what you need to do. You have to concentrate on this happy memory. On, even if you don't have a happy memory, you can just think that everything is fine between the both of you. You have never had an issue. You can always concentrate on that. So that's how everyone is you pushed out works. Now I also want to mention that I have not always been this kind. I'm actually a really emotional person. I used to be an emotional person, but then when Tanaya told me that everyone is you pushed out, and I read about Neville Goddard and Abraham Hicks, some other people who have written this literature about everyone is you pushed out, I realized that everybody is speaking the same language, which is that you assume something about someone and it becomes a reality. So let's say that I'm assuming someone is really kind, so this person is actually kind. You want your landlady, or you want someone to be extra sweet to you. So you just assume that this person is very sweet to you. See, what happens basically is that our fears and our insecurities drive us crazy, okay? They lead us to overthink about situations, about people, about things, about circumstances. You don't have to pay so much attention to any of it, because you see, when you're paying too much attention to whatever is going around you, you cannot fool your heart, okay? So your heart sort of starts to feel fearful, it becomes frightened, it becomes this whole packet of insecurities and lack of confidence, etc., etc., etc. So there are certain cases where you've actually lost hopes. You can actually make the best use of it, because then you have nothing to lose, and you know that some way or the other things are going to work. See, the best thing what I can tell you is that when you know that there's nothing to lose, then you become fearless, okay? So this is the reason why some people, they do not fear in any matter of life, be it business, love, success, investing. They don't fear at all, because they know that whatever is here, it is temporary. So if you lose it, you just lose it. You can always bring things back into normal if you're confident enough, and if you know that you can change things. So everyone is you pushed out. If you're confident that you will have a good rapport with a person, you are going to have a good rapport with a person. Now I'm telling you one thing, that this particular episode with this bestie of mine, basically he's a very nice guy. He's always been so kind and so helpful, and now when I checked one of his posts, recent posts on Instagram, he has sent out a message that he wants to donate to people. Now he's filthy rich, okay? He's one of those rich people in Delhi, who have these dozen cars standing in the courtyard, like that, okay? And it's sort of very surprising when I see people like them talking about poverty, about charity, because in Delhi I have never met people like that. They were always like, we need to hoard stuff, we need to take things for ourselves. So a version of him which was talking more about poverty, and he was a completely new person, and he was not the same person I knew earlier. So you can always change people, like they change in a jiffy. You just blink and they're like, a different person. Oh my god, what just happened? It happened with my specific person as well, because he was self-obsessed, according to my earlier notion about him, that he's self-obsessed and he probably cannot love anybody. But now he is the exact version of what I am. Like, he's too caring, he'll know whether I'm sleeping on time, and I should not be just surfing the internet for no reason because I'm not able to sleep. He also keeps a check on my diet. He tells me what to wear, and like previously when we had been shopping, he was not much interested in what I was buying or something like that. He was just concerned with his fittings and his trials with the costume person and the stylist, etc., etc. So anyway, so now he's like more concerned about me, so I'm happier. About this bag you see over here, it's gifted by my friend Ratan Yagam. She's from Arunachal Pradesh. She's really, really good at her job. So you can check out her posts on Instagram. She has this amazing quality, okay, of creating, designing, draping, anything you mentioned about these jewelry or accessorizing. What I was saying is that anybody you meet, like Ratan is the finest example of a person who I have always thought that she's never going to change, and she actually hasn't changed. She's the same person I met in college, and she's absolutely a darling. She's so warm and so endearing. It happens with all of our friends and people we meet, accomplices, about it's the same about our clients and people who we know of, we have had our best times with. So since everyone is you pushed out means they are a part of us, you can be less judgmental about them. You can always think that they are not you know they're not mean, or they come from a place of lack, anything like that. Everybody is happy, basically. You just think that everybody is a happy family. It's a set where everybody thrilled for the simplest of things. They don't need to worry about any dearth of material. They don't have to think about anything that goes against their favor. They have a lot of love to give. So if you think that you are love, and if you affirm to yourself that since you are love and you're coming from love and everybody is going to love you, everybody is going to love you. Like in the past 2.5 months, I've seen so much love coming my way, either from the podcast channel or from the YouTube. I don't care about how many subscribers are there, but people are reaching out to me. They're saying that we have never seen this side of you. And I always manifested something like that, that they're going to say something like this to me. They're going to tell me that how proud they are. They're going to tell me how excellent I am at my job. So I get these comments all the time, and people are like saving my posts on Instagram. These things never happened to me before, but now since it's happening, so I'm not um doubting the process. I'm just letting it flow. I'm trusting the universe. I'm just trusting whatever is happening, because you see, sometimes you just let it go. For that matter, not sometimes, you always let it go, right? You cannot clutch something and keep it for the longest time. You just have to let go and surrender. So instead of overthinking about someone's behavior, just imagine, just visualize that this person is the person you've always thought them as. So imagine that this person is the best person you've met. So before meeting somebody, don't make an assumption negative. Like, let's say that this person in the picture, he looks a particular way, he looks really strict, but he can be a joker, he can be the most humorous person you've ever met. It can be anything, all right? So you can assume anything, and then you'll see your life is changing, because everyone is you pushed out, and everything is just the way you imagine them to be. People, objects, behaviors, um, um, anybody. I can't think of more people, but yeah, I've changed the behavior of my parents and their outlook towards my lifestyle or the things I choose or stand for. Also, about my specific person, that's the biggest success I've had up to now, because he's become a completely changed person only because I changed my perception and I assumed things differently, so I could turn things in my favor. And I'm happy. I'm really, really happy. As for the people who have been rude to me and they have not spoken to me for a long while, I just want to mention that eventually they are going to come around, because I'm manifesting that version of them. Everyone is a part of me, so they will behave the way I want them to. I am the creator of my own reality. So yes, so that's about it. You can always change your life. The reign is in your hands. I'll see you the next time. I hope you liked this video. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment. Leave in your questions. I am active on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. I have a Medium blog. I have a podcast channel. You can reach out to me wherever you want. So yeah, so that's about it. I'll see you the next time. Bye.